So we are on the flight back to London. Very lucky I'm in beautiful Emirates first class, which is always just a magical experience. I'm so grateful for it. It makes flying like a really enjoyable experience where a 7-8 hour flight you'd want it to keep going, but besides the point. We're 3 days out from 2025. I'm about to crack the laptop open and spend some time really planning the year ahead. And I wanted to share something that I shared at the start of 2024, which seemed to resonate with a lot of people. I'll start with this. There's a book that I think everyone should read. It's called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I prefer to listen to the audiobook of this one because the book is essentially a transcript of a conversation between Napoleon Hill, the author, and the devil. And the devil is this kind of manifestation of all of the distractions and things in the world that stop you from unlocking your full potential. And it was actually written, I believe, in the 1920s or the early 1900s, but it wasn't released until the last 10 or 15 years because the family of Napoleon Hill, after they found the manuscripts, they actually decided, for whatever reason, not to publish it until recently. But it is amazing listening to it, knowing that it was written maybe close to 100 years ago. One of the concepts in the book is that you can either be somebody that has definiteness of purpose in life, or you're a drifter. And so you're either someone that's just drifting through life with no real intention, life is happening to you, or you can be someone that has definiteness of purpose, someone that has control. They're a creator of their destiny, they're a creator of their circumstance rather than a victim of circumstance. And you have to be someone that has definiteness of purpose. You have to have intention. And so if you're watching this video in 2025, make sure you're coming into the year with a lot of intention. And so there's a process that I kind of take people through. I've shared it before. I take myself through it every year. It's called the transformation process. And it's 5 or 6 steps that these kind of quick exercises you need to go through in order to get the clarity on what you need to do and what you want, so that you have a greater chance of success, achieving the things that you want and seeing lasting change. So the first point, and I've said this before many times, is that most people don't actually know what they want. A billionaire once told me, it's very simple, but it really struck a nerve with me, was that clarity is a superpower. And those people that have clarity in life, they're able to move with so much more intention. When somebody knows what they want and when they want it, they can be far more intentional with, what am I going to learn from? What are the rooms I need to be in? Who are the people I need to get in proximity with? What are the action items that I need to do? What are the changes that need to be made? And also, without going to too deep into psychology, it also starts to trigger your reticular activating system, which is the part of your brain that is used to filter information. At any given moment, on any given day, you have millions and millions and millions of sensory inputs, things you see, things you hear, things you smell, things you taste. The reticular activating system, the RAS, is the part of the brain that determines which of these inputs are not important and we just can ignore them, and which are actually things we should focus on. And when you have clarity on what you want, what that allows your reticular activating system to do is spot opportunities. And so if you're someone that says, okay, this is something I want to do, when you've set that intention, your reticular activating system is going to start to see opportunities that align with that. It's the same thing when you're thinking of buying a red car, suddenly you see all these red cars on the road. It wasn't like there's suddenly now more red cars than there weren't previously. It's your reticular activating system is spotting it. Anyway, so the first step of this transformation process is crafting your compelling vision of the future. And without going into the instructions again in too much detail, it's crafting a document, writing down what you want life to look like in meticulous detail, down to the time you wake up. What are the first things you do? Do you hydrate yourself with what brand of water, and what electrolytes do you use, and what clothes do you wear, and what car do you drive to work, and what podcasts or music to listen to on the way to work? Describe how you feel, what your family is like, the things you do throughout the year. When you travel, how do you travel? Do you travel first class or do you travel economy? Do you have a driver collect you from the airport? Do you, whatever, what is your philanthropic goals and your mission? Like, what is it you do to give back? And what does your finances look like? When you go into your online banking and you look at your bank account, what do you see? And the more detail you can go into, the better. And the reason you want to go into meticulous detail is not only, again, it helps with this manifestation, or I don't really like to call it manifestation, your RAS, filtering opportunities, helping you spot opportunities, but it also triggers an emotional reaction in your body. Because when you're describing something in such detail and you read it back, it's the more detailed it is, the easier it is for your mind to visualize that life. And then that visualization triggers the nervous system to release these emotions and creates this compelling desire inside of you. So when you're having those tough days, those tough times, you can refer to your compelling vision of the future. And that's the reason it's called compelling. It's compelling. It pulls you into the future. It pulls you forward. And the bad days, the bad moments, like, it's just part of the process. So create your compelling vision of the future. Get clear on what you want. The second thing that I'll leave you guys with is, this gets maybe said a lot online, and it's just something that I believe to be so true, but in life, you don't chase the goal, you have to chase the character. And what I mean by that is, and if who you are and your output is made up of a lot of different things. It's made up of your habits and behaviors. You can either have constructive habits, which are doing good for you, they're building you up, they're making you a better person, or destructive habits that are holding you back. You have your belief systems, things you believe to be true about the world, which is your worldview, and things you believe to be true about yourself, which is your identity. Now, you can believe something about yourself or about the world that isn't necessarily true. But if you believe it, if you have that feeling of certainty and conviction, that is going to shape your reality. Like, your identity, your worldview is your reality. Perception is reality. What the world that you exist in, how you perceive it to be, like, that is your life. And so really, one thing you need to start doing is getting clear on what are your belief systems, and I'll come back to that in a second. It's your skills and your knowledge. It's your environment that you exist in. It's all of these different things that make up your character. And so when I say chase the character, not the goal, a lot of people think, oh, when I've hit this goal, then I'm going to be more disciplined. Then I'm going to be more like this. Then I'm going to be more like this. But actually, the inverse is true. You have to become the person that is capable of achieving the goals that you have. Because who you are now, the version of yourself, the current version of yourself and your character, and the version of yourself in the future that's living that compelling vision of the future that you've set out for yourself, are two totally different people. They are not the same person. Yes, they might have the same physical manifestation, the same body, but in fact, your body might even totally be different. You might be someone that you don't recognize how you look right now and you want to change how you look, but regardless of the point, they're two different people. And so the aim of going through these certain characteristics, parts of your character, habits and behaviors, skills and knowledge, the environment you're in, belief systems, etc., is you have to figure out what is the difference between the version of myself now and what is different to the version of myself that's living this dream life of mine. And when you can clear on that, you can then work to close the gap. You might think, okay, the person that's living this compelling vision of the future, they have these skill sets I don't currently have. They have knowledge around these areas I don't currently have. They probably have more empowering belief systems about money, about finances, about wealth, about the world. They probably have better habits, like they don't check their phone first thing when they wake up in the morning and scroll for 30 minutes. They get up out of bed, they have a light alarm that wakes them up, they get into a cold shower, they change their physiological state, get into a state of certainty, and they've planned their day already the night before so they can attack that day with intention. All of these different things. And so when you get clear on that, it's a very helpful exercise. And a quote from Jim Rohn, I believe it was, if you win the lottery and you win $1 million, you better quickly become a millionaire. And what he means by that is, let's say you won the lottery and you got lucky and you won £1 million, $1 million, whatever the amount is, you better quickly generate the skill sets, the knowledge, the belief systems, the mindset around how to actually manage that capital and how to actually think and act like a millionaire, because Jim Rohn understood that the character change has to happen first in order to attract the opportunity. And it just comes back to the whole point around chasing versus attracting success. You always want to be attracting success. Best relationship with this is dating. Like, you can, if you're a guy, you can go on Instagram and you can slide into the DMs of 50 unbelievably gorgeous supermodels. Like, if we're being superficial here. And respectfully, if you're someone that isn't that valuable of a person, you haven't got much going for you, it's unlikely that they're going to reply. And if they do reply, good luck getting a date. The way to think about it is, who do I need to become in order to attract these kind of super attractive supermodels? Not that like you need to go after super attractive supermodels, I'm just like creating a very generic, superficial example. Because when you then become that person, someone of value, you attract these people. You always want to be attracting. The same applies for success. When you become somebody that's more skillful, has more knowledge, you can give more value to the marketplace. When you have better belief systems, you can be more open to opportunity. When you have better habits and behaviors, you're going to make better decisions and get into have more success. Because where you are right now in life, an inconvenient truth is, where you are right now in life is exactly where you deserve to be, because your current situation is just the product of all of the micro and macro decisions you've made your whole life. And so anyway, 2025, get clear on what you want and get clear on who you need to become. We'll leave it at that.